Hi guys! How are you today? Welcome back to my channel, Adventures in America. If you are new to my channel, my name is Jocelyn. We will talk about the visa processing at the US Embassy Manila. I'm going to update you first with the visa appointment wait times for all non-immigrant visas and later on the USCIS processing times for K visas and family petitions. Now this is only at the US Embassy in Manila and the wait time is actually longer. As of November 5th, the wait times is now longer. The non-immigrant visa is now 500 calendar days and the other visas are 35 calendar days. Please remember that this is longer from the last time that I have provided an update. Please remember that all other non-immigrant visa wait time does not include K or V visa applications which are processed similar to immigrant visas. I will provide later on the update for the processing times. This is as of November 5th, 2021. We will discuss the case processing times for fiancé visas, and after this, we will also discuss the immigrant visa processing times. The processing time will depend on the type of visa, when was it filed, and the field office or service center where you filed your petition. So here for petition for alien fiancé 129F, we'll go ahead with California service process. It's 6 to 8 months for K1 and K2, and the receipt date is March 14, 2021, and it's also 6 to 8 months for K3, K4 for spouse and or dependent child. And the receipt date is also March 14, 2021. Now, if the receipt date is before March 14, 2021, you can submit an inquiry outside of the normal processing times. Now, there are different types of case inquiry if you did not receive notice by mail, did not receive card by mail, or did not receive document by mail, or if there are any errors as to the petition. Now, let's move on to the next service center, which is Nebraska. Here is the processing time. It's 6 to 8 months for K3, K4, and the receipt date is March 11 of 2021. So the processing time depends on the service center and also the receipt date. Let's move on to Potomac Service Center, and the processing time is 4 to 7 months, which is shorter, and the receipt date is April 9, 2021. So this is the more recent of all the service centers. Now let's move on to the next field office or service center, Texas Service Center. So if you filed your petition here, this is the processing time. It is 4.5 months to 7 months, and the receipt date is April 9, 2021. Now let's move on to the next service center. It's Vermont Service Center. Let's see the processing time for this place. It's 10 to 13 months, which is longer, and the receipt date is October 17, 2020. For those who are interested in knowing the processing times for family petitions, if the form filed is I-30, petition for alien relative, and the service center is California, here is the processing time. It's 25 to 108 or 140 months. So it depends on the type of form. If you're a permanent resident filing for a spouse, or a US citizen filing for a spouse, parent, or child under 21, or for an unmarried son or daughter over 21, or a permanent resident. So there are different receipt dates depending on the form type. And the first column shows the estimated time range. So it is actually longer for US citizens filing for a married son or daughter over 21 because the receipt date is March 14, 2010. And I think it is easier for a permanent resident filing for a spouse or child under 21. And also for a US citizen filing for a spouse, parent, or child under 21. It's almost the same. The receipt date is February 11. Okay, let's move on to the next service center. So I'm just showing to you the processing time, which is dependent on the receipt date and also the service center or the type and the type of form. Now I'm showing to you the estimated time range for Nebraska, which is shorter, and then the receipt date is actually more current. So if you notice, it is shorter, like 3 to 7 months only for permanent resident filing for a spouse or child under 21, or US citizen filing for a spouse, parent, or child under 21. So the longer time range will be for US citizen filing for a married son or daughter over 21 years old. So the receipt date is still in 2010. So everything depends on the service center where you are filing the petition. Now here is the processing time for Potomac Service Center. So let's see the estimated time range. So most of the form will have an estimated time range between 21 to 27.5 months, and most of these are almost in the same receipt date, like July 31st, 2019, for 4 different types of form, such as permanent resident filing for a spouse or child, or US citizen filing for unmarried son or daughter over 21, or also for a permanent resident filing for unmarried son or daughter over 21. So the most current is the US citizen filing for a spouse. Now let's move on to the next service center, which is Texas Service Center. And here is the current processing time. Please remember, this is only for family immigrant petitions. Now here is the estimated range for Texas Service Center, and it's between 25 to 32 months, and most of the receipt dates are March 11, 2019. So if you noticed, if you are a US citizen filing for a spouse, parent, or child under 21, it is faster, and the estimated time range is shorter, so the receipt date is more current. Now let's move on to the next service center, which is Vermont, and let's see the processing time for this service center. Most likely, the shorter processing time is for a US citizen filing for a spouse, parent, or child under 21. The most current is November 13, 2020 for this type of form, and the estimated time range is 9.5 months to 12 months. And all the other forms are actually more than 21 months and up to 65.5 months, depending on the status, if you're a permanent resident or US citizen and your family is either unmarried son or daughter over 21.
Thank you guys for tuning into my channel. And if you haven't liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. I always welcome new subscribers. Thank you guys for tuning into my channel. I hope everyone is staying safe and have a great day.